SypherPK stirred up something within the Fortnite community a little while ago, and I've been meaning to touch on it, but things kept getting in the way. Anyways, SypherPK, a map creator, but he's, to be honest, he's probably not a map creator. I would imagine he just outsources all of the work, but you get the point. He talked about a big issue when it comes to XP in maps right now. I'm going to walk you through that. We're going to take a look at some replies to it and just kind of get a gauge on how people are feeling about this. I'm going to give my thoughts, and as always, I'd love to know what you think about it down below afterwards. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with 20 YouTube channels. Let me bring you over to this tweet from SypherPK. Fortnite needs to standardize and buff creative XP. There's just too much BS and abuse of the system going on. It's gone to the point where people are using AI of myself and other creators to promote XP glitches and maps. FN create, something needs to change. Now, I did go to our good friend Loot Station over here to make sure that all of this is still relevant, which I assumed it was, but I still wanted to make sure that it was all still relevant because I was interested in this topic, man. This is one of the big issues with Discovery right now. A lot of people are, and I'm coming from an angle where there's no problem at all. I have no issue if somebody is just making maps for the money and they could care less about the art, they could care less about building, whatever. No issues with that. But what I do have an issue with is the people who, and I know we talk about this when we talk about Loot Station, by the way, which is crazy. And again, I got into a small conversation with Loot Station while I was asking him about this. How crazy is it that you have all of these people out there who are legitimately scamming people, legitimately lying, and just getting money from these creative maps? But Loot Station, the most real XP guy of them all, is the guy that ends up getting banned. It is insane to me, but it is, and what Loot Station actually pointed out, it's because these people upload their streams, they put them on loops and stuff, but then they get the money and they delete the videos. That I didn't know happened, but it's just a crazy turn of events, to be honest with you. But how many times have you seen it in Discovery, man? There's all of these clickbait XP type things. You have a ton of YouTube channels, a ton of YouTube videos with legitimate views and legitimate live streams with the chats actually popping. You know, we've seen it since the beginning of the time. The same types of channels that were kind of like, the Kraken event is happening right now, everybody. Just wait 10 more seconds and they're going to loop that over and over again, or some actual guy just sitting back and talking about that. These things have been in here since the beginning of Fortnite, and it has been a long time coming. Like, Epic Games needs to actually step in and do something about these types of things, because when it comes to people making maps, when it comes to people actually like putting hard work and effort into their maps and maybe want to make this even a career for themselves, these people who are cheating the system are getting in the way. People like Cypher pointed out, I've even seen it. People are using AI of creators like SypherPK in order to promote their own map, but these things work on the either easily influenced or children. But it's going to get to a point, and it's starting to get to that point with AI right now, where you're starting to be able to tell you're starting to not be able to tell what's real and what's fake. There's a lot of videos that I come across now, and while I was doing some research, we made a video on the Clenday Channel about that new actual AI robot that came out. There was a couple screenshots in there where I was like, I don't know if this is somebody just dressing up, or I don't know if this is an actual robot. Like, I don't know if this is AI. Like, these videos are getting insane. They were funny when AI first came out, where people were making Nick A30 saying like the most out-of-pocket crazy stuff, but now it's getting to a point where people are making huge XP maps and they're AIing somebody like SypherPK, somebody like Ninja. Hey guys, go check out my new map, and then people will go in and check out the new map. This is not okay, especially when you're using somebody's face, and especially it's a huge problem when the only person who gets banned from all of this is actually Loot Station. It's crazy how that all turned out to be, but it's not just about what I think over here. Let's take a look at what everybody had to say in reply to SypherPK on this, guys. By the way, if you've been enjoying the video, if you like the channel, please hit like, subscribe. I would love to have you guys come to future videos. Thank you very much for being here. Cypher did end up adding to his initial point over there. It should be simple. Is a player engaged in actually playing the creative map, then grant them a competitive amount of XP. Maps should be about fun and engaging content, not how much XP per minute you can squeeze out. I don't mind that. I don't mind at all, like, if Epic Games were to change the XP system as a whole, if they were just to have like some global standardized XP. I don't exactly know how it works, but kind of like how they do with the battle passes, man. I don't personally see an issue with any of that at all, but let's continue on to not somebody that's not SypherPK. A user by the name of Boyka had this to say about it. If they were to standardize XP, they will use V-Bucks and Battle Stars vending machines with an AI version of you to lure them in, which will convert even better considering how many V-Bucks giveaways you do. So what's the point? Cypher ended up replying to that and saying, It significantly lowers the amount of people tricked into playing. The issue with XP maps is some of them actually work. I tested one and got 300k XP in literally 1 minute a few seasons ago. So someone posts an edited fake XP clip, a lot of players will try it. V-Buck glitches and unlocking skins are more obvious scams, and those kind of tactics aren't as successful. I see where Boyka was coming from, but I actually do end up agreeing with SypherPK on there. It will artificially kind of just adjust the player base from getting scammed less. I guess that's a weird way of putting it, but less people in general will be clicking on this map. So I do agree with Sypher and what he had to say about this. Let's continue on. A user by the name of Keener had this to say: I still don't understand why SypherPK is being the most privileged guy in Fortnite, still complaining and crying about creative XP maps. Is insane, bro. You don't pay $1 from your pocket while the rest of us players has to buy a skin and being broke for it. You get free skins and paid. The reason why I wanted to include something like this is because you see quite a few replies to this whenever some sort of big creator starts speaking on something. I've even started to get it myself, which was very weird. Like, I get the I was just talking to Clark, Jag, and Jojo a little while ago, actually. I'm starting to get the comments too where it's something like, well, what are you talking about skins for? You get free skins from Epic Games. I'm like, I don't get free skins from Epic Games. Like, people assume a lot of things about any creator whatsoever. And yes, while SypherPK like is treated nicely by Fortnite, he can still speak out on any issue. Just because SypherPK is at the status that he's at doesn't mean that he has any less of a voice. I will never understand this opinion, but unfortunately, it is a normal thing to hear whenever a big creator starts speaking on something, okay? But again, I understand the mindset. I just think it's wrong, okay? It is wrong. I don't even think it's wrong. It is wrong. Sent by PR had this to say: I report every map like this whenever it's promoted. I'll log in and search a map, then report. I hate people exploiting instead of playing the actual game. If you suck, then you suck. Want, move on to try a different game. Unfortunately, this isn't the way that everybody can do. Most people, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've seen these clickbait XP maps. I don't go in, I don't report them, but if you do happen to come across them and you have time, the way to work is to actually report them, because we know Epic Games does actually function off of the report system. They actually act on it, which is, I mean, it's pretty good from Epic Games' perspective, but sometimes they don't always get the nail on the head, right? But let me stop you right here for a second, guys. We haven't talked about this in a little bit, but I have been advertising my supporter creator code more since we have been making these types of videos, so I want to stop you for just a second. If there is not a supporter creator code that you are using in the item shop right now, please consider using code Clen. I really appreciate everybody who has been using my code. I'm working so hard on YouTube to give my wife, my daughter, and my future children the future that they deserve, and every little bit has been helping. Thank you very much to everybody who has been using my code. So again, if you are not using a code in the item shop, please consider using code Clen. Thank you very much. Let's continue on. TMG Rift had this to say: all they need to do is completely remove the Accolade device and give a global XP reward across all islands. I've been saying this for over a year, and I still think it to this day. It would solve all the problems with this BS XP scam maps and videos going around. This would also solve a really bad problem of people only playing maps simply because they give XP over a smaller map that doesn't have XP calibrated yet. This would spread out the players and encourage them to play other maps that are smaller and potentially higher quality. This sounds really nice, but the problem is I am not too involved in the actual building of islands, and I haven't experienced too many maps where it's like, okay, if you find this secret, you get this much XP. I don't know how much it actually helps the maps out, so I don't think I'm educated enough when it comes to creative maps to comment on this specifically. It sounds nice. That sounds like a perfect solution to me, but if anybody is involved in the creative space, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below. Please help me understand, is this a good idea? It sounds like a good idea, but the way I'm coming from this, it's such a good idea. Why hasn't Epic Games done it? But then I think about things like the locker UI. Okay, you know what? It's Epic Games. Maybe they're just not doing it for no reason. So I don't know. This sounds like it is a very good idea to me. I don't see the issue with it. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thank you very much. Riggy had this to say: I agree. I'm over the amount of people I see saying best XP glitch map. Then they sucker you into sitting in the map for 15 minutes plus to get the crazy amounts of XP. And that's our whole identity as a creator. It's honestly sad. They just take advantage of kids for money. Like we've spoken about, guys, you know who does not take advantage of little kids? That being Loot Station, the greatest XP map maker in Fortnite, XP YouTuber, real legitimate ways to grind XP, and he recently gotten banned from Epic Games. So if you want to hear that entire story, and it's been solved, thankfully, you can check out one of these two videos right here where we cover everything. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Take care.